Boom. What is going on? We got an in-office swim tutorial. We got a group of like 25 athletes building towards Chattanooga 70.3, and I am getting a bunch of guys to send me footage of them in the pool, and I'm giving them video remote coaching, and I'm realizing that there are such common things to work on that I should just make a standardized video that touches on all of these without me like referencing the context of the video stills that I'm sharing in the group chat. So that's what we got going on live here. I am going to cover in this video the 4 most common mistakes that I'm seeing. And I'm also going to talk about just the foundations of how we swim for triathlon. So number 1 mistake that I see, I'm just going to get right through these. Number 1 mistake is that your head is too high in the water. I'm seeing a lot of guys swimming and like the crown of their head, I can see almost their entire head as they're swimming toward me in the video. And the reason that that's a problem is because the number 1 thing that we want to do in triathlon swimming is keep the body horizontal. We want to keep the body horizontal like this. And the entire idea of moving through the water is to be able to grab water and send water back. And the problem that guys run into when their head is too high is that all of a sudden their body is like this. The water's going in this direction, their head's up here, and their feet are down here. And now all of a sudden they're creating a ton of drag. And so no matter what they're trying to do with pulling water and sending water back, they're just creating unnecessary resistance. So the first thing I guide guys towards is get that body position horizontal. We want to have the crown of the head down, and we want to have the feet feeling the surface of the water when we're kicking. That alone is going to solve most guys' problems. Most problems that I'm seeing in the swim stroke are all downstream of the head being too high. If your feet are sinking down low, it's usually downstream of your head being too high. So that's really the first thing. The second thing that I'm seeing is that guys have a big gap in the front end of their stroke. So let me just go ahead and show you real quick what the stroke should look like. We want to go ahead and reach into the water. We want to go over the barrel and grab water, and we are sending water backwards. That is how we move forward in the water. But the problem that I keep seeing with guys is that their timing is all screwed up when they have the front end of the stroke happening. So here's what it looks like. They go ahead and grab water through here, right? They finish the stroke this way. And then with the left arm, they come through, and then there's a gap right here. So right up here, there's a gap. They're like this. And there's a point in their stroke where this arm is coming through the body. It's past kind of the shoulder plane. And this arm has not entered the water. And the problem that that causes is that, number 1, you're kind of losing your streamline. You're losing that ability to stay kind of gliding through the water. You're not pulling any water forward at that point. And you're also just creating a bunch of drag. So the drills that I've been guiding guys towards to fix that, number 1, easily catch-up drill. So catch-up drill is where you allow this hand to hang out here while this arm catches up. That's the idea. And in a proper swim stroke, we want to be almost full catch-up. Full catch-up is like you fully wait, and there's like a drill where you exaggerate it, right? That's full catch-up drill. But in a standard swim stroke, we still want to be able to like have this timing and this rhythm where our hands are both up in the front. So there's really never a point that we're not moving water and pulling water forward. And there's not a point where it's just our chest as the farthest point forward, which is pretty much what's happening if we're like this. We have this hand go back, this arm's not in the water, and then it's just like our chest and our lifted head are the things that are in front of our body, and we're just creating a ton of drag. Those are the first 2 things I'm seeing. The next thing that I'm seeing, some guys do this, some guys don't, is they're very aggressive with their arms trying to like almost punch themselves through the water. Some guys are like way out here swinging their arms. I see other guys trying to swim hard, and if they try to swim hard and fast, what they do is they're just like punching at the water. And what did I say? The whole idea of triathlon swimming is we're moving forward by pulling water. And this top portion of the stroke, this is called the recovery. So this should be very relaxed up top. You should not be like torquing and irritating your shoulders and applying a lot of force at this point in the stroke. And now I've got a drill to help out with that. Fingertip drag. So we got catch-up going on already, right? We got this arm out in front. Now fingertip drag is where this arm comes, and instead of punching forward or swinging this arm out, we are going to take our fingers and we're going to drag them across the surface of the water. Then we're going to grab, right? And then we have this one go down, right? The pull, nice high elbow, right? This is how we're pulling water, like this. And then we got this arm out with the catch-up. Fingertip drag, switch. Fingertip drag, switch. Fingertip drag, switch. Just like that. Now again, let's circle it back real quick. Head being too high, that's the first red flag. If you're trying to swim through the water, right, this is the water, my hand, you're trying to go through like this, you're just facing resistance the whole time, right? So let's get that head down. Let's get those heels touching the surface of the water. Let's think about under the water, the pull is how we're sending water back and how we are moving our body through the water, right? We got that head down, crown of the head is down. When we turn to breathe, we're just kind of turning like this, like that. We're not lifting our head up, gasping. And now all of a sudden we're working on that front end timing. And a good example that I like to use is thinking about the golf swing, right? So the golf swing is all about timing, right? I don't need to be able to bench 400 pounds to be able to hit the ball 300 yards. It's all about transfer of power. I got my weight back, and now boom, seamlessly going right through. And that torque and that timing is how I make contact with the ball and apply as much force as possible without a ton of effort. And that same idea is what's going on in the swim stroke. So we want to get that timing. That front end timing has got to get nailed. And if all of a sudden that timing gets disjointed, and now all of a sudden we're doing this, right? That would be the example earlier, is that this arm's coming through before this arm's even got into the water. And now you can see how this is not even getting anybody forward, right? This is what it looks like. Compared to what we want is this nice boom, 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 boom. Just like that. Final note that I'll add here is not crossing the center line. Sometimes I see this, sometimes I don't. Center line. Think about a imaginary line going right down the center of your body. Right arm stays on the right side, left arm stays on the left side, right? So we apply that now to these principles that we're already talking about. Boom. As opposed to crossing over, right? And that crossover usually happens when all the other stuff's falling apart too, right? Your arm's back, and now when you come in with this arm, now you're over the front. And now you're doing this weird boom, boom, boom. You're not moving forward in the water at all, right? Foundations of the swim stroke. There you go. Chattanooga 70.3. We are building. If you got questions, come hit me. Thank you for watching.